Welcome to the Investor Impact, Power Talks with Vinney Chopra, where investors gather to share their insights and strategies in the world of multifamily, real estate, and beyond. Get ready to be inspired and equipped for your next level of success.
I wanted to really start the business of investing in real estate, but guess what? I had zero money at all. Hey there, this is Vinney Chopra. Actually, I came from India with $7 in my pocket, and I wanted to really start the business of investing in real estate. But guess what? I had zero money at all. To invest in. So that's when I was getting sick and tired of my W-2 job, and I wanted to start working for me so that I can get, financial freedom. And I know you might be looking into that also. But how I did that was by pooling the money together from different investors. It's called syndication. I started with one investor, and now I have a list of 370 investors. And I started from a duplex of 2 units, duplex, to $440 million in business. And actually, you could get that all from this book I wrote. This Apartment Syndication Made Easy. You could get a free copy of that by going to vcfreebook.com, and you'll be able to get all the tricks and all the strategies that it took me to be able to go from zero money, literally zero money I had, left my job, and also now able to, do all the syndications and purchase a lot of apartment complexes and things like that. So please click the link below in my bio so that you could get this free book, which is at vcfreebook.com. Welcome to our show, Inner Circle Mentoring, where we talk about multifamily, commercial hotels, senior living, storage units, investing. Now, senior living quite a bit lately because of the red ocean and the blue ocean. And this webinar is for entertainment and educational purposes only, should not be construed as legal, accounting, or investment advice. This webinar does not represent an offer to sell or a solicitation of an offer to purchase investment or security. The information presented believed to be accurate. Oh, Brother Stephen is joining in. Let's see, I'll let him in. We make no representative warranties. Please consult your attorney, financial advisor, CPA for legal matters, and so on. And again, abundance mindset. We talk about abundance mindset always, every week, so that we can really acknowledge, are we ready to learn? Are we ready to really put some things into action so that we could, failure is an opportunity to grow, challenges help me grow, all those things. Positivity has been my life. Think positive, be positive, all those things, because a lot of things happen when we are positive. Confidence, happiness, enthusiasm, inspiration, everything like that. So let's just go out of there. Let's just come out and we'll just dig into our presentation, which is today. Let's just first meet everybody. Let's see here. I'll stop the share. Yeah, welcome. And let's see, Ankur is probably there. A few other people will join, hopefully. How are the wins coming or the losses coming for the week from last week to today, this week? Anybody wants to share? Yeah.
I'll share, Vinny. This is Daryl.
Yes, Daryl. Yeah.
Hey, I wanted to share because I just completed a softball conversation on syndication with someone I've known for maybe 20 years. And I've actually done work for his company. And we were having lunch about doing some work with this not-for-profit. And I just got into the conversation about syndication. And he's very interested, very smart guy.
Nice.
And was interested in doing some business together. So I was really excited to come away from that conversation. And
Beautiful.
the second conversation that I had was with my wife's best friend's husband. and he's retiring soon, and he wants to find some places to put his money. And he was asking me about where I'm putting my money. And I told him
Oh
where
my gosh.
he's
Yeah.
very interested because he said he's exhausted all these other options that would, and he's retired from two different companies. He's worked 20 years for one company and then 20 years for the city. So he's getting ready to finish up. He's got two retirement checks coming in. So he doesn't want to take this tax hit. So he's just really excited about the conversation we had because he was here for a week visiting us from Ohio.
Yes. Wow. Wow. Daryl, thank you for sharing that because it's so amazing. So many people in our circle, they are yearning, they are looking forward to finding some good investment opportunities. And by cultivating that trust factor and building the relationships, right? I say that will pour money in. The best deal you find it, they will pour themselves in, and with a good presentation, everything, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. Thank you for sharing.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely, man.
Hey, brother, I know you were making some noise, and I know Abigail. I don't know if he's going to come today. He had 60 units apartment building. He got LOI accepted, right? I don't know if he's going to show up today, but no, go ahead, Dave. Yeah.
Oh, Encore and I put an offer back in March on a property that we got outbid on, and then we told the sellers that they likely wouldn't be able to get financing. Sure enough, we got notified earlier this week that the other buyers were unable to perform, so we have a good deal back on the table with really good returns. So that's one thing one good thing that happened this week. I've got quite a few LOIs that I'm putting in right now. So a mix of business with real estate, and that's what I'm looking at right now, because a lot of times the real estate has the smaller returns, but you can in many cases, when I say smaller returns, by the compressed cap rates. But now it seems that there's a lot of opportunity in these businesses that are scaling down, and if you can get the business solid, then the real estate holds its value and increases in value in many cases. So we're looking for unique assets that, when I say unique assets, from golf to wineries and as we talked about last week, Vinney, these residential assisted livings could be a really solid play. I have a lot to learn on the real estate, the RALs, because I like to say it's not in my lane, although real estate is. So I feel like I can find the assets, just got to make sure that we have operators that can come in and operate them. Because it's easy to find deals, easier than it was a couple of years ago, but you got to make sure you can make money and increase the value of the asset, because interest rates are higher and banks are going to look at things, I think, a little more stringently these days. But
True.
A lot of positives for us, and I know Encore is on the phone. And unfortunately, I know not unfortunately,
there he is. There is Encore right there. Hi, brother. Do you want to add in? Yeah, add in to Dave's.
I mean, I'm sorry. There's like a lot of background noise with my kids, so that's why I was like muted. I was just picking them up, but no, really excited for this deal to come back, and we are going like full swing. Dave and I are going full swing on this, and we are hoping for the best. We'll see how it lands, and we're constantly looking for more. We've been looked at a lot of other like tech deals also. And I think you mentioned, Dave, I think I missed a part of the assisted living that you're talking about. So I missed that comment. But the beauty of the real estate plus the business, where we're trying to look for assets, business assets, where there is like that, the market is a little bit fragmented, Vinny, as we are seeing. Obviously, the assisted living, they're the relatively more popular assets, but we are trying to find those gold nuggets where there is mispriced business valuation against the real estate. That's really what we are looking for. And so it's no one source. You just gotta keep looking and keep finding it.
I see, you're so right. There's the real estate part of it, then there's the operation part of it. And that's what we're going to talk today, RALs, I've been putting my notes together and everything. So let's dig deeper. Brother Steven, would you like to have any comments, bro?
Yeah, Dave and I still need to talk. I've got a deal that I came across. It's in your lane actually, but I think it's a little too small for you, Vinny. But it's
Okay.
about 2.3 million, about 10 acres of land. It used to be an assisted living center, and
Oh,
it shut down. I think during COVID, they shut it down, and the town is 100% wanting it back. And so anyway, there's a deal there.
But
There's a
is it
couple of
a
others.
land or it's already built on
It's
it?
already
You
built on the
mentioned.
land. It was functioning and everything. And
Hold on.
so,
That's amazing deal to look
yeah,
into. Maybe there were some debts. It's possible if they
yeah,
didn't operate it correctly in COVID. It's
yep.
quite possible, but you could turn, reviews and all. It's pretty cheap. I don't know how many rooms is that. Do you know how many units?
I've got the guy putting a pitch deck together, and so I was going to have
Okay.
him.
Yeah.
But there, and then they
Excellent.
have another opportunity in the same town. This is for
Mm-hmm.
Lee and Kat. That they need another daycare there because their workers
Mm.
can't go back to work because they don't have daycare. So there's a couple of
Yeah.
this little town is really hungry for somebody to come in. And so anyway, it's nice fell in my lap. I was talking with somebody that I knew, and they, you know who you know who you know, and then there's all of a
Yep.
sudden I'm
Yep.
getting this call, and I'm like, yeah, I remember, and boom, there it is. So it's nice. I'd like to broker that deal
Love
for you.
it.
In other words, let you take it.
Yeah.
Basically,
It's the
caring kid
exciting part. Huh? Please go ahead. Huh?
What
Yes.
I was just saying, it's basically both ends of the spectrum. You have kid daycare and then adult daycare, basically.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep.
you're
Everyone
so
is taken
right.
care of
And you can do,
Yes.
and there's a place where you could actually possibly do it both at the same time. So downstairs,
Mm.
the assisted living, and upstairs, the daycare. And
Daycare.
there's places
Yeah.
like your other opportunity you have. I think there's places that you can build and do things with. I'm not sure about all of that, but
Sure.
it sounded very promising. And
Love
I
it.
actually sent him your pitch deck so that he would have a better understanding of how you guys like to look at these things. And yeah,
Beautiful.
pretty excited about it.
No, that's very exciting. Thanks for Stephen. I know that's the beauty of it. I think, like we discussed, red ocean, blue ocean, how multifamily with the interest rates where they are and everything, we got to have the operation side of it, which is bringing more bigger NOI, net operating income. And that's what we are trying to do to combine the two together right there. So essentially, I've been saying for last 5 years, 10,000 baby boomers are turning 65 every night. Guess what? The latest numbers got published. It's 11,200. 11,200 Americans will turn 65 every day, or over 4.1 million every year. 4.1 million from 2024, which we are in right now, through 2027. So it's going to be 12 million people coming in 24, 25, 26, 27. Almost 16 million people more will be joining into senior living. And then the other thing is much of this growth will be prompted by aging baby boomers, of course, who in 2030 will be aging like 66 to 84 as they are coming in. There are more people getting older. Some statistic I've come to know is 4,000 per night turn into 85 years of age. 4,000 every night. And most of the assisted living memory care starts at 84, 85 to 104, 105, by the way. So that's the age, unless somebody has a slip and fall early, or if they're, downgrading because spouse passed away. That's the other reason. Why do people need assisted living? Is if one person passes away, their life goes down, or they slip and fall, they cannot drive, they cannot cook, they cannot breathe, bathe, and all those things, right? So that's where the whole spectrum is. So let's just say here on July of this, for the first time, the millennial generation born between 1981 to 1996 comprised of a greater number of people in the population than the baby boomer generation. Look at that. So it's amazing. We have two tsunamis going on in our country. One is millennial tsunami because they liking portability and other stuff in apartments. The other ones are Silver Tsunami, which is the assisted living and memory care. And not only that, I'll share some other statistics in a second. For household headed, 50-year or older, 36% equates to about 26 million Americans. 50 or more older now live alone. I just wanted to see what the demographics are, and we could go deeper and deeper into it. The other thing is that Gen Z is also the smartest and the best educated generation in our whole country, in USA. Having an unlimited wealth of information, which is so easy now to really get educated on at their disposal. They are also more solar, wind energy, more zero carbon attitudes. All those things are in the Gen Z, which is going to even change their outlook, how to serve the seniors, because a lot of them are more tied in into their own things. So this is another one we were able to look at. What's the demographic of the seniors right there? Their population in this generation by race, that's all seniors, by the way. Generation Alpha, born 23 plus, and that's the blue ones right there. And then we have Gen Z is the black one. And then we have the millennials right there, which is big. And then Generation X, born between this and this. That's right there. And then the boomers are the green ones. They have taken over all these sectors now. That's a little larger. And those boomers are going to dictate where the money is going to flow. As the bigger and bigger population gets into seniors, a lot more things will be coming medically. Otherwise, all the different things we use on a daily basis will be more oriented towards seniors. And this is the whites, then Hispanics, then blacks, then Asian Pacific, and then 2 or more races over here, and American Indians very little. So this is a kind of good graph right there, distribution. I was just looking at the same thing, I think, over here. Oh, wow. I wanted to find out how many RALs are there in this country, residential assisted livings. Look at that. The last information we could find is 2021, almost 3 years old. Business Parent Survey. They say assisted living communities in California, 4,100. Washington State, 1902.
Wow.
That surprised me. Right there. Florida, 1,804. Texas, 1,295. Wisconsin, right up there in the cold country, 1,272. Oregon, 1,208 on the West Coast here. That's as of January, some publication came out. States with the fewest assisted living include Delaware, only 34 at this time. Maybe it could be opportunity too. You never can say. I've been saying that most people want to go to warmer states, but we find that every state has need because the seniors are trying to live closer to their grandchildren and children so that they could have them visit them every so often or every month. They don't want to go so far away that their grandchildren or their children cannot visit. So Wyoming is only 40. It's a small state too. Delaware is small state. Wyoming is small state. Brother Shorab is coming in right now. Hawaii 61, Rhode Island and all that. To determine assisted living availability, one needs to consider not only the number of communities, all that, right? How much does it cost also? Maybe we could talk about that. Average cost, by the way, is $4,500. That's up and above. So that's for average is, look at these are the highest ones, by the way. Most expensive assisted living is in Alaska, where cost of goods is much higher anyway, so that's why it's higher, 72. Rhode Island, it's 72 right there on the east side. Massachusetts is there. New Jersey, 68, and Hampshire, and then Missouri. They are the most affordable assisted living is in the Missouri, in South Dakota, where there's small states too. Kentucky is not bad. Mississippi, look at that. Utah, I was really happy to see Utah because I'm thinking Provo and Salt Lake City to penetrate there, Las Vegas to penetrate, and of course Arizona to penetrate in my Moneal foundations to really expect to go into those states. Alrighty, let's look at this one here. How many people live in assisted living facility? I don't know if this is correct. I don't know. I've heard millions of people are living. I need to know how many people are living 85 to 104 in America. That's the number I couldn't find, but I'll go and research because this seems like a smaller number to me. Dave, what do you think? Only 800,000 people in assisted living facilities. I don't know. Resides in this.
That doesn't
We'll have
sound,
to see.
that doesn't sound like a right number, Vinny.
Half of the assisted living residents are at least 85. Wait a minute. So there are 85 years old, only half of 400. So 400 over here. We'll have to look back at it. I just found this
is
when
that
I
in a
was.
state? Is that in a state, Vinny, or is that
I
national?
wonder.
It says in the
I
US
wonder.
reside in, I can't imagine that number.
Let's see.
Seems
It
low, doesn't it?
sounds, yeah, we'll do some research. We won't get hung up on it, but we'll do some research because there is just huge things out there for us. Now, the median length of stay, assisted living is around 22 months, over 2 years. So this class, assisted living is much better class in the sense that prolonged stay as compared to working class, which we may have turnover, right? We always have in multifamily turnovers, jobs people lose, and things like that. People can't afford, and things like in senior living, in assisted living, I want to say it's longer stay, like about almost 2.5 years to 3 years. That depends again if we get even sick, then they have to go to rehab centers or go to hospital or go to hospice if it's the end of life situation. So essentially, our leasing with the senior living, assisted senior living is month to month because you don't know when you might need to go out of the senior living. That's just remember that. Over 60% of the assisted living eventually move from an assisted living community to skilled nursing facility. See, assisted living does not have doctors. It doesn't have medical beds. It doesn't have any equipment whatsoever. That's where I think I chose 4 5 years back to be in assisted living and memory care, not into rehab centers, which is a lot more complex and lot more operational involvement, lot more money, lot more risks also, by the way, with people care and so forth like that. But in assisted living, it's 3 meals a day, 24 hours of care, prescriptions giving, all those things, right? One person in no longer 5 years of age moved back home. So let's just talk about if this is age of the, okay, 85 and above. We did talk about that. But let's just talk about, again, let's just look at it here. Health conditions in assisted living. 4 in 10 assisted living residents are diagnosed with Alzheimer. That's when I started building in Punta Gorda, and my other partner also, he's been building. We have 60 units for our assisted living and 20 or 25, 30 units for memory care, Alzheimer, because then it's easier to move from one side of the building to the other side. Same thing with RAL, residential assisted living also, because these are individual units. The ones I have toured in Arizona and other places, that's how they do it. They can actually have the Alzheimer patients, or they could have the memory care seniors move to those rooms because they need more attention by the caregiver. So they start. Now, I would love to talk about a little bit also. See, the bigger name brands, assisted living and memory cares, I think I read somewhere or I heard the ratio is 20 to 1. 20 residents to 1 caretaker. But in assisted livings, it's 4 to 1 or 5 to 1. Wow. So it's a better care in the residential assisted living, which is fantastic because it's more homely, It's not a big, I'm just kind of changing from my style of 94 units, which is huge, and into smaller, like I mentioned, I think in one of my class, 35 units, 30 to 35 units, I feel is very good place to go. Or 3 homes in a cul-de-sac, right, Dave? We talked about that, right? 1 or 2 sessions back. So having 3 homes within maybe 10 minutes drive even, it's worth it, even if they are not together. This way we can have one home more luxurious and one in the middle and one in the lower end. So now we are promoting, and if our residents can afford the more luxurious one, they could go to that home, RAL. Then those who can afford a little bit lower, they could go in the middle, and then they could go one in the lower, not lower, but really good one that way. So that's another model we can talk about. I would like to also ask me questions. I do want to show, actually, I did say, okay, I'll go over these things with you all today as we go over the overview of the assisted living industry, the market trends and demographics. I could show that, types of assisted living facilities, legal and regulatory consideration. I don't know how much I can go into that today. Business models and revenue streams, financing and investment strategies, then operations and management. I could talk about like a whole day on that. We have learned so much in 5 years. Then the marketing and sales. Oh my gosh, I could do a whole big session on just that. Technology and innovation in senior living, huge. Risk management and compliance, which is very big. Future outlook and opportunities. But let me take you to, as we are talking, let's just stop this here and please ask more questions. And maybe I can answer as I open my another PowerPoint presentation in the background. How did this hit you all? Let's just talk about that.
Hey, Vinny, I was thinking about regulatory. I think that fourth bullet you had on your chart down there. And what is it that provoked those certain states that you brought up? Is it because they're more progressive? Is it because the licensure threshold is easier in those states that have more assisted living? So I was wondering about that. And that may not be something that's immediately answerable, but it'd be interesting to know that in which states it's easier to set up senior assisted living, so you have opportunities in those states.
Very good point. Very good point. I would say these regulatory things are governed by the state and they're not that hard. When we get a certified operator, it's called certification. They have a license to operate or manage in Arizona, in Texas. The thing is, in Arizona, regulations are 10 seniors in a residential assisted living, 10. No more than 10. So you could even have 5, by the way, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. But if it's over 10, then you have to have commercial kitchen. You have to have certain requirements of the backyard space and things. So nothing to worry, because these are regulations for like fire department, for the health. So they do inspections. They want to make sure that these facilities are well cared for and the seniors are getting their best care in those, right? So they do once a year inspections and they pass them and so forth. So the license has to be active. Nothing to worry. But the thing is, like, I will not be, operating myself, right? So, and you will not be either. So we'll be hiring individuals, like in Florida, I've been doing 25 years of experience. So they have done rigorously trainings and their, licenses renewed, and they have a full knowledge how to operate, a residential assisted living or multi-center, they call it, if it's more than 10. In Texas, it's 15, I found out. What? In one residential assisted living, you can have 15 or 16, maybe even. So the more rooms you have, the better it is in the residential, larger space. or you could do pairing. You could do just the rooms or 2 beds in a room, right? Of course, you charge less for those. So I found in my research, you could do it several different ways. You could give people who want to be just alone in the bedroom, or you could have a pairing, they call it right there. Huh? So
Hey,
I
Vinney.
hope I answered your question. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, great. And today's highlight for us was getting an hour and 15 minutes of Vinny's time as he was running a marathon through the San Francisco streets. But it's funny, it's just a synchronicity of I've been seeing some promotions, maybe because I'm getting close to 45, about these memory care facilities in Europe where people have Alzheimer's and they build almost a mini city where people can
Yes.
go around to a beauty parlor and everyone is completely in that part of their lives where unfortunately they're at that state, but they're still given the opportunity through their families to live. There's cameras everywhere. So I don't know if that has been done in the US, but it seemed like a very interesting model. Literally, it was like that movie where they were in a bubble and everyone was watching. It's basically that, but they had free reign to go into a grocery store and they built the mini city, but every single patient there is completely 100% Alzheimer patients.
Oh, wow. 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 It's quite possible. I know lots and lots more people are coming into this field as the need is there. I know villages. We talked about villages, which is very close to Brother Dave, right up there from Jacksonville, right there between Jacksonville and Orlando. And it's one of the best communities out there, which is independent, I think, mostly a retirement community, very nicely designed and with its own things. But assisted living is also there, Dave. Do you know? In villages, I bet there are. Yeah.
Predominantly single family homes, some condos, but that's the largest. I want to say it's 88,000 homes or something crazy.
Very large, I remember.
But they don't have there are some assisted living facilities that are right outside. That's Ocala, Florida. But I don't think they have care inside of it's really a 55 and over community. So it's just a deed restricted community. There are many 55 and over. But I think specifically, Vinny, you're referring to what you do is all the way to the memory care. But these residential assisted living, my father he's 93. Yes, he'll be 94 this year. He's in assisted living, but he doesn't need care. He just needs a little help with making food. And if he falls, he has to be in a place where people are there to help him. That's what I think that's what's happening with the baby boomers and I'm 11,200 a day, Vinny, you said.
Wow. Yes, totally. No, totally. That is the real deal. That's what I've come to realize, such a great need for us to really take care. I would love to share. This will open up everybody's eyes. If it's okay, this is the one I was looking for. Share the screen. And there it is. Remember, I just started that Moneal. You can see it, right? Everybody can? Moneal Senior Living, our brand. Yep. As I started building in Florida and Virginia, it's going to be opening up soon, hopefully. Our luxury, and just go from here. This is what I put together for our investors because I raised 4 million, 8 million, 8 million. During COVID, I was able to raise 22 million within just 3 months. 3 months, I raised 22 million. And what I showed them was, this is actually designed for Williamsburg, just so that you could see the nostalgic feeling to it and so on in Virginia. And of course, the following information is investment, blah, blah, blah. This is the outside of our senior living, by the way, how we build it, outside right there. Right there with the carport and everything. And then inside, we'll just go into this. So this was the demographical shift, the charts that I presented in my PowerPoints to my investors and all. We are right about here in the middle. 2024 seniors, population 85 plus 6.7 million, which is going to grow to 20 million right there. Huge number who'll be in. So that's what I'm wondering, Dave. Remember 6.7 population, which is right there. And this was even in 2018. Look at this. This thing was released in 2018. Now we're in 24. So that 800,000 which we talked about is the wrong number. 85, I think that might be related to a state, but population 85 plus 6.7, I bet in the middle over here, 2024, it's about maybe 7 million. Who knows, right? I can get that number, but it's going to grow every year. And this is the population that really needs assisted living and memory care. That is it. And the seniors, we are right at about here, middle of it maybe, let's say 64 million or so seniors, and it's going to be 88 million seniors, the green 65 plus, and it's 11,200 as we discussed, every day they are becoming, getting into that thing there. Let's go to the next one.
That's all for this episode of The Investor Impact. Stay tuned for the next episode and don't miss out on the opportunity to learn and grow alongside this powerful inner circle.